Hi, it's me. I'm gonna try and get through this video without crying. I'm not gonna do it, but I'll give it my best shot. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. My channel's all about stories, so here's one. I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago, we got a dog. Buddy, hi. Hi. Oh, you're such a dick. Buddy, look at me. Buddy. Buddy. Oh, you're such a goober. Our other dog had just passed away at the age of 18. He was a very old dog. His name was Buddy, so when we went to a pet adoption center and saw this 2-year-old white lab mix sitting in the corner named Buddy, we thought, we'll consider it. Why not? And then we walked by his kennel again, and we saw that he only had 3 legs. And I turned to my mom and said, "That's our dog, isn't it?" And he was. We adopted him, and he was the best dog that you could ever ask for. His first owner was an older woman who died taking care of him. So he was put up for adoption. What is it, Baxter? He was put up for adoption, and the family that adopted him left him on his own in the house the first day they got him. And he bolted out the door. He crashed through the back door and ran the fuck away. And they gave him up immediately afterwards. After that, he had a trick knee. So they had to do surgery on his leg, and he broke the leg after they did the surgery on him. So they had to amputate it. Apparently, amputation takes about 5 years off a dog's life. Wish I'd known that. Wish I could have been better prepared for that. We were told when we adopted him that he would never be able to go on walks, never be able to get along with other dogs. He was skittish and scared all the time. He was a nervous wreck. Okay, Will Ferrell needs to shut the fuck up right now.
Hey buddy, are you doing anything besides just like wandering around and looking really dopey right now? And not looking at the camera literally every time it's faced towards you. Oh my god, buddy. You are the worst at this. Buddy. Hey. Hey. Hey, buddy. He just does not care.
He was... he was nervous. He was so skittish and shy. But he stuck to my mom like a shadow. Wherever she went, Buddy was right there beside her. And he got around just fine. Like, really well. Because at one point, this was our first time. We were evicted from our house, evicted from the place we were renting, and we had to live in an RV that a friend of a friend owned. in the middle of the mountains. This little town called Hamul in San Diego County. So, one day, I take a sick day off from school. Baxter is just going nuts right now. I take a sick day off from school. This is, I want to say 2012. Whatever year Foster the People's Pumped Up Kicks came out. Because I know I heard it like 7 times that day on the radio. I guess Foster the People was going to be in concert in town that week, but whatever. That doesn't matter. I take Buddy outside. I don't put his leash on because my mom never bothers. Because he's like a shadow, okay? He's like, he'll just follow her outside, do his business, and then go back in. Once she goes back in. Just stay out there with her. With Mom, he didn't need a leash. Me, though, that's another story. Because when I took him outside, after he did his business, he looked at me, stared at me for a couple seconds, and ran. Because my mom was not at home, RV, which is just to say. And I can only assume that he was looking for her. Because he ran, I didn't have shoes on. Because it's just like, hey, outside is right there, I don't need shoes. Which was probably a bad idea, because there were big old black widows and giant biting ants out there. But regardless, he ran, I could not catch him. He was gone. We yelled and screamed and looked everywhere. A few nights later, we heard coyotes howling like they had just killed something, and we thought that was it. 1 week after he ran away, we heard the pitter-patter of 3 paws outside of our RV. And he ran in and jumped up on the little couch like nothing had even happened. He was a bit thinner, and he was covered in tree sap, but the same dog. He was just like, hey, what's up? What'd I miss? So, from that moment on, he was our miracle dog. Buddy, what the fuck are you looking at?
Who wears out first?
Buddy. Buddy, go on. Buddy.
Daddy's here. Especially because he has open space. And, he knows it's here. He knows it's his. You know? And the more he gets out, the more he's around Sam, the more the barking, the noise.
And then came the second time. This time, after we were evicted from our home in, where was this? This was the house. This was a house in medium-sized town in San Diego County called El Cajon, about 100,000 people. And we had this really nice house, 3 bedrooms, 2 big orange trees in the backyard, and they were just, we'd have fresh squeezed orange juice every day. We got evicted from that place. We were out of there. Nope, because my mom lost her job. Because the poker industry in San Diego is run by a bunch of racist Arabs, racist and sexist Arabs, I might say. Regardless, moving on. So this time we were relocated to a place called Hakumba. If you've never heard of it, don't feel left out, because I want to say about 7 human beings lived there. It is this very small town uh, that is so close to the border that we could see the fence from our front yard, from the front yard of the person whose house we lived at. What the fuck are you doing? We could see the fence. Border Patrol was everywhere. I saw a couple drones flying by. Uh, our sister had decided to stay with friends in San Diego at this point. So she was not living with me, my mom, and Buddy. So, one day, the woman we lived with, and this is pretty ironic, she would always complain at us for leaving the door open because her dog would get out. This is a dog, by the way, that is a very much so an outdoor dog. Like she found it living outside. That's how she came to own that dog. So anyway, we're up visiting my sister in San Diego, right? We're up visiting her, and we get a call from the woman we're staying with. She left the door open, and Buddy ran off. Gone. Alright, so, we don't have any blankets, to use for ourselves anymore, because, you know, we had to make the dog comfy. We screamed and searched and looked for days. Called Border Patrol. We put up posters. Nothing. Radio silence. Our dog was gone. At a certain point, she, I guess, was just sick of our shit, because, hey, you know, fuck you homeless people living in my house, paying rent like we agreed on. Get out of here. So we had to stay at another friend's, I believe. We've been through so many places in the past few years that it's just impossible to keep track of. And then exactly 40 days after he runs away, we get a call from the woman we were staying with. She left the door open to her house again, and Buddy came back. He ran inside her house and started eating her dog food. And we rushed down there as fast as we fucking could. He was skinny. He was skeletal. He looked like he had just come out of Auschwitz. And it was a miracle. Our fucking dog was alive, man. After 40 days in the Mexican desert, our three-legged, skinny-ass fucking scaredy cat dog, he was alive. We got him back to normal. Got his health back up. And then, for a while, everything was good. Hey buddy, do something funny. Do something funny. Buddy, come on, do something funny. Do something cute. Do something funny and cute. And then, this year happened. November of last year, the both of us moved up to Ventura County in California. And for a while we were staying pretty big Ventura County town called Oxnard. I think it's the biggest city in Ventura County. And at around that time, at around the beginning of the year of 2016, Buddy's health began to deteriorate. His back leg was getting weaker. The back leg that he still had was getting substantially weaker, and he was eating less. And in the past few months, it escalated to the point where he could no longer use his back leg. It was completely paralyzed. He was losing weight rapidly. His appetite diminished almost entirely, to the point where he would barely eat food that wasn't cooked or wet food, basically. He was getting sick. His eyes had cataracts and were constantly leaking this green mucus. And he was not doing well for a very long time. Once we got the place we're living in now, he just couldn't walk anymore. He had to drag himself with his front 2 feet. We tried to get some wheelchairs built for him, some dog wheelchairs, but that never materialized, and it didn't matter in the end. Once it got to the point where his front arms were swollen, when he was so skinny that you could see most of the bones in his body, when he could barely move, we knew it was at least time to take him to a vet. He'd been with us for so long, and we knew that we had to at least do something. So we took him to the vet today. Took him to the vet. And we made it very clear that if we could do something, we would do it. Okay? This was not a death march. That was a last resort. So they did a sonogram on him, and he had heart cancer. There was a mass of solid tissue in his chest that likely perpetuated the weight loss, the eye infection, the arthritis, the other issues. And so we decided there was nothing we could do. There was no way to treat it. If there was, it's far out of our budget, and he would have just been miserable. So, our dog died today. He died in our arms. I was a wreck. I am still a wreck. I have never cried more than I have today and in the past few days. This has been the worst day of my life. Our miracle dog died, and there was nothing we could do about it. After everything he's been through, at the ripe old age of 7, our dog died. And I have never been more sad, or more angry, or more hopeless. Because I have been left with very little. And it is killing me. And I needed to share this. Because maybe Buddy can touch your lives too. Maybe he can make you feel the way I feel, the way I felt about him for all these years that we've known him. Happy, relieved, sad, heartbroken. He was always a heartbreaker. Whenever we'd go for walks, people would come up and go, "Oh, look at the cute dog. He's so cute. How old is he? What kind of dog is he?" He was a chick magnet. Never got me a girlfriend, but you can bet he was a chick magnet. So, he couldn't help but break people's hearts. Wound up breaking his own. And I'm trying to be strong right now. I'm trying. I am desperately trying. But it's hard. It's impossible. And we have another dog, Baxter. And he is a little ball of energy. But he's not Buddy. He's not the dog that hopped on your bed or laid his head on your lap or would watch Friends with you when you were feeling down. He was right now. Baxter is not the dog that Buddy was. He is a good dog, but Buddy was the best dog a human being could ask for. He was sweet and mellow and just an angel. And he's gone from our lives now. And I'm not sure what I can do about that. So, I guess really what I'm just letting you know is that I'm taking a break from making videos for a while. A couple weeks probably, however long it takes me. 'Cause I need time to process this. And I hope you'll be understanding. So, I guess what I'm saying is thanks for giving me your time. Because all Buddy gave was time and love, and if you would be able to reflect that on me, I'd be very grateful. Because I need it right now.